A lot of people have asked me how to defend better on the 5-rod, and it's very similar to how you would defend on the 2-rod. If someone shot like this, it's going to look a little bit ridiculous, but I'm doing it to prove a point. If you had someone shooting on you that did this every time they got the ball, they set it up, and they only looked like they're going to shoot for about a second, how would you defend that? What would you think? You'd think, well, they only can shoot when they're in that rollover position, so that's the only time I'm really under pressure. That's the only time they're really a threat. So that's the same kind of thing on the 5-rod. On the 5-rod. So on the 5-rod, if someone was like this, it's the same thing. Three walls I know about, just to prove a point. So in that 5-rod possession, I was only a threat to pass 3, maybe at most 4 times. Same thing as what you just saw here. So think about that. If you can learn to identify when they are a threat to pass, it looks just as simple as that does. Because all the rest of the movement is meaningless. They're just getting set up, they're moving the ball around, or taking their time, they think. So if you see a 5-bar that's like right now, not a threat, not a threat, now I'm a threat, now I'm a threat, maybe now, not a threat, not a threat, not a threat, now I'm a threat, now I'm a threat. So, same kind of thing there. I was like maybe 3 or 4 opportunities within 5 or 6 seconds where I actually was a threat. So that, as a defender, you need to identify those moments when they are a threat. Just like here, when they're in that rollover position, it's obvious when they're a threat. You need to learn to identify the same thing on the 5-bar. Identify those moments that they are a threat. All of this is not threatening, especially if you pass it backwards. But as soon as they get that ball in that perfect spot for them, now they're a threat. Now they're a threat. Not a threat, not a threat. You can relax. Now, yeah. So it's just about learning to read these moments of that when they actually could execute. A lot of 5-bars, their threat level is not very high. They're only a threat maybe 2-3 times during the whole possession. High-level 5-bars, of course, very different. And I have other videos to show you how to make your 5-bar being trash and make it a threat the entire time so that this doesn't happen and you're not so readable. So you need to learn first thing how to identify when they actually pass. And once you've identified when, now it's where. How do they choose what it is they're doing? Are they pre-deciding? Are they reading where you are? So if, for example, if someone was like this, and they're a threat, and they're at that moment in time that they're a threat, they're able to read where you are and pass, well then you can defend appropriately with that. So at that moment in time when it's here, and say for example, if you're there, he passes wall, well the next time, show him that exact thing right at that time, but then go and block wall. I know it makes it sound simple, but that's the theory. That's what you're trying to do. So, learn when they are a threat, and when they could pass, and once they have that, then it's a matter of learning how they make their decisions, how they think. And often people think the same way. Rarely do you find someone that switches back and forth in how they think. So, and also think about on your 5-rod, when you're defending, that you're making choices. You are deciding what hole they get to hit during that time when they're a threat. You're not chasing everything. You're not trying to block every pass. If you do that, you'll just be chasing the whole game against good 5-bars. You want to commit to something. You want to say, yeah, when I see they're going to go up, I'm going to commit to it and block it. And then if they make the pass, then fine. Then you've learned something. You learn that, okay, when I did this and I came off, they read it. So maybe next time I'll actually fake I'm going to come off and come back down to the wall. So you want to learn from every decision you make. You're not just flailing and hoping, because you're not going to learn anything. You want to be able to learn their habits, learn when they're a threat, and learn how they decide to execute during that threat moment. Just like you would on the 2-rod. Same thing. On the 2-rod, you commit to the holes that you want them to shoot. You try to read their habits. Same exact thing on the 5. So hopefully that helps you out. And this takes years of experience of playing many different players who all kind of shoot and pass differently. But that's kind of the fun of foosball. Enjoy.